All right, so this might be a little disgusting, but I never actually finished the original Resident Evil 2. Yeah, I know. Probably makes me. It's probably heresy. You're probably saying. All right, so before we get into the video, I do want to mention two things. I actually forgot to mention this in the first video before this one, talking about Resident Evil 1. But if you do see other, like for example, like Resident Evil 5 or Resident Evil 6 gameplay, like I stated before, I've actually been having a lot of problems with my Elgato capture card. Again, bro, I'm running like the original, like fucking first generation one, so it's only capturing stuff at like 30 FPS, and I don't know, man. When it comes to like games, I can only really record stuff off my Switch, and I really don't want to be using any other game besides Resident Evil when I'm talking about Resident Evil. So that's kind of the only little thing right now. The next thing too is today is the last day for me to reach my goal. Again, I'm like three subscribers away from reaching 100. I do want to reach it by the end of the month, which is basically today. So please help me out by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Also sharing the video if you can, because as you know, if you share it, your butt cheeks become a lot more shinier than they already are. And come on, baby, who doesn't like shiny butt cheeks? But other than that, all right, let's get straight into the video. So I've actually stated before in some of my other videos that I've actually never finished the original Resident Evil 2, and I never actually played the original Resident Evil 3. I think I might have actually played it, thinking about it really, but it was like the very beginning section, and that was it. And that's because my best friend had, and I just tried out the beginning section. Like I think like Jill like pops out of like a firewall or something like that, or something was on fire, and like you're running around with like a machine gun or some shit like that. But that's literally all I remember. That's pretty much like the very beginning of the game. But when it comes to Resident Evil 2, I actually recently this year I did actually play it because I got it for the PS Vita. And as far as I know, all I got to the part was when you get the fucking I think the shotgun. Like I didn't even fight the first liquor. I'm like, yeah, this is brutal. Fuck this. I'm not doing this. I'm not fighting this guy. But I do know for sure that instead of like the three from the remake, you only need like one little like I guess like emblem to open up the gate or whatever or something. But in this terms, I'm talking about Resident Evil 2 remake because this is the one I played first and I finished it all the way through. But from what I've heard and seen stuff, apparently it's much different from the original. So that sucks to others, but for me, like I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty cool. But again, this coming from the perspective of a guy that completely missed out on Resident Evil 2 and 3. So there's that. But getting back to the topic at time, when I first got the game, I want to say I bought. I think it was like shit. I think in 2021 or 2022, and because I got the game for like $20. Like I knew they were making a Resident Evil 2 remake, but it's just one of those things like, well, I mean, Leon's cool and all, but he's not really my favorite character. I mean, I like Claire too, but I don't think it's gonna justify it enough for me to want to buy the game at full price. And actually, I think it's a good thing I waited because don't get me wrong, Resident Evil 2 is a good game. It looks really good. I like the way it feels. But for me, it's like, I mean, it's a remake. I mean, I don't think it really justifies the fucking $60. But I don't know. Sometimes I'm kind of off and off, kind of like contradicting myself, being a hypocrite because I'll do it for this for one remake and then another remake. I'll pay $60. Let's do it, baby. But yeah, so yeah, I played Resident Evil 2 remake. I got it for $20, and I remember playing it. I think it only took me like one weekend to actually play it, and I think I was still working at the pawn shop when the game came out. No, I was working at Texas A&M, the university, and I remember actually enjoying it. I thought it was pretty cool. Running through with Leon and Ashley or Ashley Claire. Although from what I understand, apparently in the original game, they technically had different like their scenarios were different. Like they had different bosses. Like I think Claire got stuck with Mr. X, and Leon got stuck with Birkin, I think. So that I mean, in this case, you basically play the whole scenario. Like they're both fighting the same characters and stuff like that. They're basically just swapping out like the different cutscenes, I guess. But other than that, I mean, I guess I actually enjoyed it. The only thing I do realize, I was like, oh wow, because I do remember when my best friend showed me, he told me stuff about Resident Evil 2, because he played the original and he played the remake. One thing he didn't like, and even my brother said the same thing too, was that they took out the spiders, and I kind of forgot, like, oh shit, like there's spiders, and like especially like in Resident Evil 1, there was giant spiders, but there wasn't any for Resident Evil 2 remake. Like, oh shit, okay. But I mean, on that, I mean, I thought the game was pretty cool. I mean, I only paid $20 for it. It only took me a weekend to finish it, and I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. I got some of the DLC for it, and I mean, genuinely, I thought it was pretty good. The only thing I don't think I've done for it yet is beat the game on hardcore with like a certain ranking. I think that's the achievement. I'm not too sure, but I've gotten other ones like Frugalist and Minimalist. I've gotten those achievements. But on other terms than that, I mean, the game is pretty good. I really did enjoy it. Although I should go back and try it again because if I'm not mistaken, I think for the Xbox Series X, there's like an enhanced version for the game, so like you get like better graphics and stuff like that. So that I gotta check out for myself, but that sounds pretty cool. But again, I just wanted to talk about when I first got the game. Unfortunately, I didn't get a physical copy because one thing I try to do with these videos, if I actually had the physical copy, I try to take a picture of it and then just attach like words to it or something like that. But yeah, this is one of the games. It's only digital only that I got. Though I wouldn't mind getting a physical copy because unfortunately I've reached a point in my life where it's like if I really really like the game, I'm gonna buy it multiple times. Like the things that come right off the bat of my head: Resident Evil 4, Tales of Berseria, Fire Emblem. Like those things always drop to my head, man. I'm like, you know, I've ever owned it before. I'm gonna own it again. But I don't know. I'm stupid. But other than that, I mean, yeah. So I wanted to talk about Resident Evil 2 remake. Again, I think it's a pretty good game. I really liked it. Not something I really want to keep going back to over and over again, but it's whatever. But other than that, yeah. So that was my own little story about when I beat the game, played it, and the first time I ever owned it. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Thanks for watching. Night.